Welcome to the Powerhouse University Showcase, and I want to congratulate you for taking the time and making a decision to do something that most people never actually do. And that's to actually learn the financial markets as an investor and as a trader and taking it to that next level. My name is Jesus Gill. I'm 28 years old. I've been in the markets for 6 years now. And one thing I'm really grateful for is being able to be a co-founder within Powerhouse University because myself and my boy Junior, who you're going to hear from in the next couple of minutes, are individuals that we believe in something bigger than the average person. And I want to let you know, you're either here as three types of people. Number one, you're the type of person that knows nothing about the markets. Just like myself, 6 years ago, I knew nothing about the markets, knew nothing even existed, even though I was a finance major, which is crazy to say. And I just wanted to start. If that's you, that's cool. If you're number two, person number two is somebody that has some experience, maybe dibble dabbled, but never really took anything serious. Or person number three, you're somebody that maybe has tried something, has tried courses, has paid for things, have done something on YouTube, but you haven't found the blueprint or the strategy that is for you. Whatever type you're at, I want to let you know that you're at the right place at the right time. But here to also let you know that what we've been able to cultivate is not just for the average, but for the person that wants to really take this to that next level and really being able to do this on top of what you already do. And what I want to say is somebody like Junior, who you're going to really speak about here and is going to break everything that we have down, is somebody that not only has experience, but has been able to do only what 1% of people have been able to do in this markets. And not only that, has been able to help hundreds of people do the same. So with saying that, again, congratulate you for taking the time to checking this out and making that decision. But by the end of this video, you're going to have a home that you can actually come in and have the blueprint that I believe you've been looking for. So with saying that, Junior, I'll let you take it away, brother.
One of the biggest things that Gil said is that we were able to cultivate something that has never really been done before. But you see, it wasn't really always like that. You see, Gil's been now inside the industry for the past 6 years, myself for the past seven. But I remember whenever first Gil first began inside the industry, and he was just similar, just like me. Whenever we first looked at a chart just like this, and maybe just like you right now, we looked at the chart and we were just utterly confused into really what we were looking at. I mean, it really looks like a heartbeat monitor, it looks like a foreign language. And that is because it is, and this skill set that what we call now, this great, amazing skill set that I'm grateful for learning. It took me a while. It took me a lot of time. It took me a lot of energy. It took me a lot of money. But does that mean that it has to do that same thing for you? No, it doesn't. And that's exactly the problem that I aim to solve here today. And that's exactly what we have done here within Powerhouse, right? So, what we have done here with the entire trading and investing space now for the past 6 years since we've been founded, we set the standard. We not only set it, but we have risen a lot of people inside of this industry in order to meet it, right? And what we focus on primarily when it comes down to trading, it's not just one single market. You see a lot of people out there just singularly focused, let's just say, on futures market, maybe on the CFD market, maybe on the stock market, maybe on the cryptocurrency market. You see, we do it all, and we do that plus options. And plus, on top of that, we give you trade alerts along the same exact way. And with having a higher standard, you're going to go ahead and get provided a different outcome out of everything. But you see, I'm not here to just go ahead and show you our amazing website that you can go ahead and look at on your own time, right? What I want to go ahead and talk about is the main problem that we have here within the industry of the markets that we went ahead and solved here within Powerhouse. You see, when I first began in the industry back in 2018, I was 18 years young. I'm 26 now, right? So that tells you really the length of time that I've been doing this to begin with, right? And whenever I first began inside of this industry, it took me years just to understand the basics. Years, right? And I invested thousands and thousands of dollars into education. And you see, for me, the main problem wasn't investing into education. In fact, I understood from the jump that in order to go ahead and learn something that I never had before, then I have to do something that I've never done before. And I come from a background where I used to work construction, so I used to exchange in my time and for money. right? And maybe you're on the other side of this call, maybe you're watching this video, and maybe you're just like myself, or maybe you're not. Maybe you're self-employed, or maybe you have a good career, maybe you already have a business. But regardless of what it is that you do, trading and investing is something that solves a lot of your problems, because one of my early on mentors told me this. He said, Junior, if you're always exchanging in time in for money, then you're never going to get anywhere in life. You have to figure out a way on how to go ahead and utilize one of the greatest tools on earth, which is money, and go ahead and multiply it into more. And by that, he meant trading. By that, he meant investing. You see, when I show you a chart just like this one right here, when you go ahead and look at it at first glance, even though it might look confusing, trading is just very simple. It's the art of learning how to buy low and sell high. But the thing that we can all agree with is that we lack education when it comes down to this. But the biggest problem within the trading educational space is the trading educational space is made to go ahead and retain customers. Yes, I said that. I addressed the elephant in the room. It's made to retain customers. And that is why what we went ahead and did over the past couple of years, and we set ourselves different. And what we want to go ahead and do is we went ahead and formulated a university in where we graduate students. So we don't believe in retaining students and just keeping them in a cycle, in an endless cycle, just like many curriculums, many communities out there. We believe that our students need to go ahead and get updated with the newest information that there is out there, right? And in order to go ahead and do that, we needed to go ahead and formulate and create the right partnerships in place, right? And what we did is we needed to go ahead and find people that have the results that we go ahead and want, right? So what we went ahead and did is we partnered up with the best of the best, right? And what I mean with the best is I always said that if you want to get to a certain position, then you have to listen to those people in that same position. So when it comes down to options, when it comes down to CFD trading, when it comes down to futures, when it comes down to crypto, whatever it may be, you need to listen to people who have a proven track record when it comes down to it, when it comes down to profitability, in order for you to equate the same results, right? And for a big length of time, you could find those people, but just individually. You could never actually group them all up inside of one place together. And that's what we went ahead and did. And not only that, but whenever you first start, how it actually looks like, especially if you're anything like me, whenever I first started inside the industry, I wish I had something like the freshman orientation. So say you're on the other side of this and you're utterly confused when it comes down to trading. You come in as a freshman, you enroll, we help you set up with the platform, you enter the community, and inside the chat rooms where you'll be in chat rooms alongside with your comrades that are at a similar experience level as you, right? You're going to go ahead and get into live sessions and market observations for the very first time. And then you're going to get into the graduation phase, right? So that's where you get into guided investment and position entry, trade review, and educator feedback, which that by itself would honestly, even back then, save me so many years. So again, I want you to go ahead and just go ahead and remind you that we created this community just simply because this is things that we wish we would have had. But in this world, you can either see problems and continue being part of the problem, or you can be the solution to it. And here within Powerhouse University, what we decided to do is just simply become the solution to it. And then you get into Powerhouse University. And this is actually what keeps us different. Because yes, you do have to go ahead and invest into yourself. And primarily, the very biggest investment that you can make is in yourself. That's the best investment you can make. And yes, it's going to take money to make money, right? But in many curriculums out there, when you go ahead and want to go ahead and learn the skill set of trading, for many people, they pay a certain fee and then boom, they get instant access to everything. And what we believe in here is that actually hinders your performance. Why? Because whenever you first start, you don't need to be around 6, 7 year veterans. You need to be around with people that are at the same criteria level of comprehension as you, right? That way you guys can elevate together. And that by itself is going to elevate you further, right? Because if you're a day into the markets and you have somebody that's a month or 2 months in, then there's still a lot of lessons that you can learn from them. But if you, let's just say, get with somebody that's 5, 6 years inside of the game, you guys speak a whole different language from one another, right? And but the thing is that you're able to graduate into these phases, but you don't instantly get into these phases. But you see, that's not it. One of the biggest things and one of the greatest assets that we offer is the live sessions. You see, a lot of you probably watch TikTok live or you watch Twitch, you watch live streaming, right? But we believe in live streaming, but for financial education. You see, something like trading and investing, it's something that's a no-brainer. In fact, whenever I first began inside the industry, back then it was something more of a want to go ahead and get started into trading. I was just like, yo, you know what? Like, I know that I can go ahead and invest traditionally into a Roth IRA, into a 401k. And yes, that can make me 8% a year. Yes, that can make me 11% a year. But realistically, it's like if once I found out that at the end of the day, in these traditional investments, and especially if you have money in any type of bank, what they do with your money is just simply trade it. Then you're just like, yo, like at the end of the day, whether at the end of this video that you're watching, you decide to go ahead and learn how to trade or not, at the end of the day, this is what's being done to your money each and every single day. So whenever I realized that, I was just like, yo, like I need to get put onto game, but not just watch a basic curriculum, not just watch and go online and boom, like, here's all these recorded videos. No, I want to see it in action. Because if you're anything like me, yo, you're going to learn a lot more by being hands-on. And all of our educators here, aside from just being great and being profitable traders, and these are, by the way, people that we vet in, people that have to submit their track records each and every single quarter of them being profitable because, yes, we're very solidified on that. At the end of the day, if you're listening to these people, they have to be solidified themselves, right? These people go live on their own schedule. But the thing is that regardless of whatever time frame you may be on, right? Because we got students all across the world, right? Say you can't make it to his New York open sessions at 8 in the morning Central Time, right? Then you can always go ahead and click on him, right? And once you click on his profile, you're going to see that all these are recorded. So yes, this works on your own time. So if you're that person and you're like, yo, I just don't feel like I have the time for it. Yes, you make time for the things that it is that you want. Or maybe you're on the other side of this and you're just like, yo, like, maybe I just don't have enough money for something like this because if you're anything like myself, whenever I first began inside the industry, I thought it took $25,000 just to get started inside of trading and investing. And frankly speaking, back then, I didn't have that amount of capital to go ahead and get started, right? But it doesn't. But it will require you to go ahead and invest some money in order to get started. So now you're asking, what's the next step then? Like, I understand all this, and I understand that, after all this, you get your educator reviews, and then you get into the basic chat room. But then after that, you graduate into what's called Powerhouse University. And as you see here, the results speak for themselves, of course, but the biggest thing is, as you see here, is you're going to see different channels. So it's very deliberate. So you're going to have the crypto chat, trading chat, investing chat, regardless of what it is that you want to go ahead and do, is we have a community for you into here. And once you get to the point, and again, biggest thing that I always say is like the biggest thing that I'm proud of. You see many communities out there, and you always see the person that's the founder or the main people. They always glorify their own results. Here in Powerhouse, we actually glorify our own people's results. Our people's results really speak for themselves. And yes, we might not be the biggest size community out there, even though we have a couple hundred members worldwide, right? But what I can tell you this is that we have the most amount of people winning for the size that we have. But the only reason that we're able to do that is because we have a deliberate community, right? That where you're able to go ahead and really achieve the results that it is that you want when it comes down to this. Now, say that you're watching this and you're just like, yo, you know what? Like, I want to see this in action. Awesome. Be my guest, and yes, I will take an investment in order to go ahead and get inside of the community. And we've made this very affordable for your everyday type of person. One of the biggest thing that we've been able to gladly go ahead and do is give access to the entire world. I know, for example, like I have students all across Latin America where the average monthly income is 300 to 600 bucks a month. So we went ahead and priced it to a point where it's affordable for your everyday type of person, where it's only a couple $100 to go ahead and get started. But maybe you're on this call and you're just like, yo, maybe the finances might not be a problem, or maybe they will, but I want to go ahead and see some stuff in action and see what I can learn. Cool. We have live sessions that we do inside of our YouTube channel that you can go ahead and tune in on our Sundays or Tuesdays or Saturday calls, right? And that's going to go ahead and just give you a glimpse into everything. Now, if you're that person that you've just watched all this and for the past, couple minutes, you've just been saying like, you know what, I'm just ready to go ahead and get started, right? What I want to go ahead and have you do is I want you to go ahead and go to powerhouseuniversity.org, go ahead and click on enroll now. And once you go ahead and click enroll now, you're going to go ahead and begin your application. And what it's going to ask you right here is going to be a couple prerequisite questions right here that are very important for us, because at the end of the day, here within Powerhouse University, we do believe in solidifying each and every single person and getting them to where it is that they want to, but we're very deliberate with who it is that we work with, right? So these questionnaires is just to make sure that you are the proper student, that meets the requirements that we have and the standards that we have here within Powerhouse University. But one thing that I can tell you is if you go ahead and meet those requirements, you go ahead and fill out this application, you go ahead and get accepted, we're going to go ahead and get back to you here within the next 24 to 48 hours, because yes, we're a highly exclusive community that we only work with the handful of individuals each and every single month. But when you do get accepted, this is something that we work hands on with you to go ahead and ensure that it is that you get those results that you're seeking for here within the markets. But other than that, guys, I hope that this video went ahead and broke down everything that it is that you're seeking. If you have any questions, just go ahead and reach out to a Powerhouse administrator or representative, and I hope that you have a blessed day.